The US military is building an AI pilot that flies real fighter jets, and it's already been tested in combat conditions. Ever wonder what happens when you take the human out of the cockpit entirely? Today, I'll explain the military's AI fighter pilot program like you're 5 years old. By the end, you'll understand how it works, why it might change warfare forever, and what happens when the AI makes a mistake. Welcome to Explained Like You're 5, and let's get right into it. Picture this. You're a fighter pilot who's trained for years. You're flying an F-35 that costs roughly $80 million. Now your mission requires flying into heavily defended enemy airspace. The kind packed with surface-to-air missiles, enemy fighters, and radar systems. Everything designed specifically to kill you. You could send more human pilots, but every one of those jets costs $80 million and took a decade of training to crew. And if they get shot down, that's not a broken drone. That's a person. Here's the question the Pentagon started asking. What if the most dangerous parts of the mission didn't require a human at all? That question created the CCA program, which stands for Collaborative Combat Aircraft. And the answer they came up with is going to change warfare forever. So here's the conventional wisdom, the thing everyone assumed for decades. More pilots means more capability, and a bigger fleet means a bigger advantage. The US has always dominated the skies by having the best trained pilots flying the most advanced jets, and that formula worked brilliantly. But here's where it starts to break down, and the cracks are bigger than most people realize. Training a fighter pilot to full operational status takes roughly 10 years. It costs somewhere between $5 and $10 million per pilot. The jets themselves are getting so expensive that the US is flying fewer of them than in previous decades. That's happening even while the overall military budget keeps growing, which tells you something important. Meanwhile, China has been rapidly building out its air force. They're not trying to match the US pilot for pilot. They're building sheer numbers. Lots of jets, lots of missiles, and lots of everything else. A strategy that essentially bets, throw enough at them, and eventually the math wins. Some estimates put China's combat aircraft inventory on a trajectory to outnumber the US by a significant margin within the next decade. That's the threat the CCA program is designed to solve. Here's the basic idea, and it's genuinely brilliant. Instead of replacing human pilots, you give each human pilot their own team of AI-controlled wingmen. These wingmen fly smaller, unmanned jets that are way cheaper to build. They fly in formation with the human aircraft, take on the high-risk tasks, and multiply what a single pilot can do. Here's an analogy that makes it click. Think of it like American football. You're a quarterback with a great team, but the players cost a fortune, and you can only afford a few. What if you could add extra players who were fast, fearless, didn't care if they got tackled, and only cost a fraction of what the starters cost? That's exactly what the CCA is. The human pilot calls the plays, and the AI wingmen run into traffic. Now here's where the competition gets interesting, because the two companies building these things couldn't be more different. General Atomics, who you might know from the Predator drone, yes, that one, has been building military aircraft for decades. They know the Pentagon's rhythm, its paperwork, its approval chains. Then there's Anduril Industries, a defense tech startup known for building autonomous systems faster than traditional contractors even schedule meetings. Anduril operates more like a Silicon Valley company than a weapons manufacturer, with short build cycles and fast iteration. They also have a very loud opinion that the old way of doing things is completely broken. Both are racing to build an aircraft that can fly complex missions, make real-time decisions, and survive long enough to actually be useful. And this is where it gets interesting, because the AI in these aircraft isn't doing what most people picture when they hear AI. It's not Googling what to do when a missile locks on. This is a system trained specifically for combat flight, reading sensor data thousands of times per second and making tactical decisions faster than any human reflex. Doing it all without a pilot, burning through oxygen, and worrying about G-force. But wait, here's the plot twist most people miss. The CCA isn't designed to be fully autonomous. At least, not yet. The human pilot still makes the critical decisions. The AI wingman executes. Think of it less like a robot going rogue and more like a really good assistant who never questions an order, never gets scared, and never asks for a bathroom break at 40,000 feet. The Air Force calls it human-machine teaming. Plain English, the human decides, the machine does. The AI handles the dangerous execution, suppressing air defenses, drawing enemy fire, running reconnaissance, jamming communications. The stuff that's risky enough that you wouldn't want a person doing it. Now here's where the stakes really escalate. China has noticed. Russia has noticed. Both countries are developing their own loyal wingman aircraft. China, in particular, has been investing heavily in unmanned combat systems and has publicly showcased several drone concepts specifically designed for this kind of role. And here's the uncomfortable part. They don't face the same internal debate about how much authority to give the AI. While the Pentagon carefully defines rules of engagement for autonomous weapons, China might be building something that skips the debate entirely. That's not a comfortable thought. The cost math is where this gets almost unfair. A CCA aircraft is projected to cost between $25 and $50 million per unit. Compare that to over $300 million for an F-22. You could have 3 or 4 CCA aircraft for the price of one manned fighter. And if one gets shot down, you didn't just lose a decade of training and a human life. You lost a machine. You order another one. Multiply that across a real conflict, and you start to see what the Pentagon is thinking. One human pilot leading 4 AI wingmen suddenly has 5 times the reach, for a fraction of the cost. The scale of that advantage is hard to overstate. But there's a question nobody's been able to fully answer yet. What happens when the AI makes a mistake? Because it will. Every complex system fails eventually. And when an AI-controlled jet misidentifies a target in a chaotic combat environment, the consequences aren't a software bug you patch on Tuesday. They're international incidents. They're civilian casualties. They're the kind of mistakes wars are started over. That tension is baked into every conversation about the CCA program. The capability gain is enormous. The risk of getting it wrong is equally enormous. And the ethics question isn't hypothetical. Military lawyers and policy teams are actively working right now to define exactly when and how an AI system is allowed to use lethal force. Those rules don't exist yet in any final form, which means the technology is moving faster than the rulebook. That gap between what the machine can do and what we've decided it's allowed to do is the most important story nobody's really talking about. The first CCA prototypes are expected to fly alongside operational aircraft in the early 2030s. The Air Force wants over 1,000 of them eventually, a number that would fundamentally reshape the ratio of manned to unmanned aircraft in America's fleet. And the program has already survived multiple budget cycles, which in Pentagon terms means it's about as close to certain as anything gets. Here's what you now know that most people don't. The CCA isn't about replacing pilots. It's about making each pilot exponentially more powerful. It's about solving a numbers problem that the US can't solve by just building more $80 million jets. It's about staying ahead of adversaries who are building quantity while America bets on quality. Then adding an AI multiplier to the quality side of that equation. The cost math is real. The timeline is real. And the risks are real. So go back to that pilot in the cockpit, staring down airspace that would have previously meant a suicide mission or staying home. Now they've got 4 wingmen. The AI flies point, draws the missiles, clears a path. The human follows, executes the objective, and flies home. The question worth sitting with: if AI wingmen can do the dangerous work better, faster, and cheaper than human pilots, how long before someone starts asking whether the human in that cockpit is still strictly necessary?